I am going to go over the parallel lines and transversal notes. This is from page 36 and 37 in your interactive notebook. These two charts should be on your page 36 and pretty much giving us just examples of the different angle pairs, corresponding angles, 1 and 5, 3 and 8, 2 and 6, 4 and 7. So if you look, corresponding angles are in the same spot when you move up and down the transversal. This line T is your transversal. Line A and B are parallel. So if you look, your corresponding angles, angle 1, and angle 5, those are corresponding angles because they're in the same place on the transversal. Just like 4 and 7 are corresponding angles, 2 and 6. And the thing about those angles is that they are all congruent. Corresponding angles are congruent when you have parallel lines. And that's the same with alternate interior angles. Alternate interior. If you look, this is your interior. In between the two parallel lines, that is your interior. So everything shaded here is your interior. So if we say anything about an interior angle, we are talking about angles 3, 4, 5, or 6 because those angles are in the interior. If you look at the exterior, everything on the outside, that is your exterior. So everything out here, that's your exterior. So angles 1 and 2, angles 7 and 8 are the only angles involved when we say anything about the exterior. Alternate exterior angles. Angles 1 and angle 7, angle 2 and angle 8. They're alternate exterior angles. They're on opposite sides of the transversal. Alternate. So 1 and 7 would be an angle pair. 2 and 8 would be an angle pair. Same side interior. Same side interior are the only angles that are not congruent. They are actually supplementary. They add up to equal 180. So you have angle 3 and angle 5. They are same side interior angles. Look, it makes sense, right? Interior and same side of the transversal. They add up to equal 180 degrees. Here we are going to identify angle pairs. So if you look at angle Y and angle X, you should see that they are alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles. Next, if you look at angle Y and angle X, they are in the same place on the transversal, so therefore they are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles. So they also have congruent measures. Alright, angle Y and angle X here, they're in the interior and they're on alternate sides. So these are alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles. These are same side interior angles. Pause your video if you need to test yourself. See if you are able to identify those angle pairs. These are same side interior angles. Same side interior. And they are supplementary. They add up to equal 180 degrees together. Okay? We didn't take notes on this, but we should know what type of angle pair this is, and these are vertical angles. Vertical angles. And last, we have a linear pair. I need you to always be able to recognize those guys. Linear pair. So next, I will give you an angle measure, and I'll ask you to give me the missing angle measure. So if you look, this angle and this angle, they are corresponding angles. If we go back to our first page, you will see that corresponding angles are congruent. So if they are congruent, they are the same. And since they're the same, you know that if this is 116 degrees, so is this angle. Here, we're going to find this missing angle. And if you look, this angle and this angle, they are alternate exterior angles. Again, if you go back and look at your notes, alternate exterior angles are congruent. Therefore, this angle measure will be 83 degrees. Very simple. If you look at this angle pair, they are same side interior angles. We know that same side interior angles add up to equal 180 degrees. So we know 53 plus that missing angle equals 180 degrees. And 180, if I subtract 53 from both sides, x equals 127. So this angle would be 127 degrees. And it makes sense because 53 plus 127 is 180. All right, here we have alternate interior angles. We know that alternate interior angles are congruent. So if this angle is 126 degrees, so is this angle. Next, it gets just a little more complex, but not difficult, as long as you can identify those angle pairs. I know this angle. Sorry about that. I know that this angle and this angle, they are alternate exterior angles. If they are alternate exterior angles, we know they are congruent. If they're congruent, they're the same. So that means 14x minus 2 is equal to 12x plus 14. We will solve for x. Be sure to read the directions. I know here I don't have them on there, but sometimes I'll have you solve for x, or sometimes I'll ask for the missing angle. I ask you for the angle measure. So if we subtract 12x from both sides, and I have 2x minus 2 equals 14, add 2 to both sides, 2x equals 16, divide both sides by 2, it cancels, 16 divided by 2 is 8. So I could just say that x is equal to 8. If I ask you to solve for the missing angle, you would just substitute. 12 times 8 is 96. 96 plus 14 is 110. So you would tell me that this angle measures 110 degrees. Just depending on what I'm asking you. I just need you guys to be able to recognize those angle pairs and solve for whatever's needed. Same thing here. If you look, these are, pause the video and ask yourself what type of angle pairs this is. These are same side interior angles. Same side interior angles are supplementary. If they're supplementary, that means they add together to equal 180. So this angle plus this angle equals 180 degrees. And you do that. You set them equal to 180 degrees. Well, you add them together to equal 180 degrees. X plus 60 plus x plus 144 equals 180 degrees. You combine like terms. X plus x is 2x plus 144 plus 60 is 204 equals 180. I subtract 204 from both sides. And 2x is equal to negative 24. When I divide both sides by 2, I get x equals negative 12. I can have a negative variable, but I cannot have a negative angle. So be sure to figure out what you're being asked, because if I say solve for the missing variable, solve for the variable, you'll say x equals negative 12. But if I want you to solve and find this angle, you're just going to plug it in. So what is negative 12 plus 60? So that angle is 48 degrees. If I plug it in here, negative 12 plus 144 should get 132 degrees. Your main thing, guys, is to be able to recognize those angle pairs from this very first page. Be able to recognize those angle pairs and make sure you know their facts, you know about those angles, and you should be squared away. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call, email me, text me. You have my number and you have my email address. All right, guys, have a good day.